What's going on, everybody? Johnny here from Frizzy's Finds, back with another video. You know we hit the Goodwill bins, so I gotta show you that. I gotta show you some of the haul. But what did we find just basically in the trash that made us huge profits? Stay tuned and find out. You know, we do a ton, if not 95% of our sourcing at the Goodwill thrift stores and mostly the bins, so that way we can keep our costs down. But we do love to hit up those garage sales on the weekend, and we actually had one here in North Carolina this past weekend where I snagged one thing. It was these Babolat tennis rackets. So I guess two things and three things really. So grab three things, but these Babolat, if you don't know, is a great brand. These rackets are a little bit older. I paid $15 a piece, so $30 for the two. But I'm thinking somewhere in the neighborhood of like $60 a piece. So probably looking at about $120 for these two rackets. Now, to sweeten the deal on those rackets, because you know you're at a garage sale, so you gotta hustle. You gotta try to make those steals and deals. When I bought those two rackets, the guy threw in the Babolat Aero tennis bag, racket bag as well. This bag here, it's huge, it's insulated, it's like a backpack. Those can sell for up to $60. So I'm hoping to turn that 30 into about $180 in total sales. So drop in the comments and let me know, how did I do on that garage sale buy? Now, before we get to that, I gotta share a couple other big dog sales with you guys. First up were these Finn Comfort shoes. They sold for $89.89. Now, we have other Finn Comfort shoes listed. We've sold some in the past, nowhere near that. Usually in the $25 to $32 range for the Finn Comforts. But these ones here, I think it had to be that purple color wave. There were not many listed. I don't even know if there were any listed in that color wave. So that purple, $89.99. It was rare. We popped it up. They sold in just a couple weeks. So $90 for a pair of shoes from the bins. We'll take it. This sale here, this Patagonia that sold for $64.99, this is why you have to be nice to the vintage kids. Yes, we made a trade for a beat-up old Carhartt, which they probably sold at a pop-up market for $100, but it would have sat for us on eBay and Poshmark for a long time. So we made that trade, got the vintage Patagonia pullover. It sold for $65, a fair trade. So remember, be nice to the vintage kid. Here it is. What did we basically garbage pick that we sold for big profits? I'm going to pop it up here in a second, but Frizzy and I went to, I think it was like the 301 sale over the summer in eastern North Carolina. We popped around a bunch of vendors for a while, for about a day and a half, and then said, this is not for us. So we headed through Raleigh on our way back home, looked up any garage sales we could find, and we came upon this one. We got there and there was just a bunch of stuff put out on tables, but there was nobody out there. So we were kind of looking around waiting for somebody to pop up. And this lady comes out and says, hey guys, everything out here is free. She apologized and said, I put everything out earlier. People came, bought it, so I've kind of just left the junk behind. So if anybody wants it, they can have it. Well, that junk was a set of golf clubs. We picked up a whole stack of video games. There was baseball bats. I mean, all these sporting goods, all this other stuff. And then I also picked up this. This box of trains and train tracks we sold for $87.49 plus shipping. We already sold some golf clubs. We already sold a couple other things from this garage sale. So we spent zero. She wanted no money. We even offered. She's like, no, just take it. We loaded up the back of our car, got 10 times more stuff than we did walking around the 301 sale for a day and a half. But again, this train set, $87.49, basically just left for trash. We turned it into big profits. Here we are, guys, back at the bins, and the way that our bins works really is the same that all bins. They bring everything out and then they let you go through it. At ours, they roll them out. They let you stand in front, but you can't touch it until they say go. So they say go and we start digging. But the first thing that we do when they're rolling out bins is we kind of sneak and peek and look around and see if we find anything that we want just laying on top, because you can't touch anything. And then we try to position ourselves. But a lot of times it's just plain luck. You just dive in and see whatever you can find. You can see hands all around. Everybody's just grabbing, looking for different brands and styles. But sometimes you got to give up. You got to move and go on to the next. And then I find Frizz. Just, that's her style. She just hangs everything around her purse. She found a ton of stuff. This, guys, Frizz at the bins is like watching Arnold Palmer making Arnold Palmer. It is just epic. If you have not seen Frizz's TikToks and her hauls and stuff like that, you gotta watch. But this is our girl in action, just piling stuff up around her purse. Again, that's how she likes to do it. And then she goes through and decides what she wants to hang on to. Waiting for the next rotation. I didn't find much, but you can see her picking. Frizz does not waste time. New bins are coming out, but she's still looking at the old ones because she knows you can't touch them yet. But here I am, peeking around, looking. I see that light blue kind of seafoam green. That's an Orvis Performance shirt. I do pick it up, and then later we decide not to. The comps just weren't really there. But actually, it was a really nice shirt. But I'm positioning myself, like I mentioned before, looking around, seeing what I can find. They say go. I snag that Orvis shirt, but again, we pull that back later. And just diving, again, looking for brand names first and then looking for style. You know, winter, anything cashmere, but Frizz always looks for like silk and linen more so in the summertime. When you're at the bins and you're paying a buck or two, well, it's $1.69 a pound, so you're paying a buck or two an item, you can kind of be a little bit more open to things that maybe you wouldn't be. These American Eagle jeans, new or shorts, new with tags, I'm snagging those, keeping those to the side, but just keep on digging through, seeing whatever you can find. But new with tag at the bins, always a good idea. So then I go over to Frizz to show, I find these vintage Ralph Lauren sheets. They can do very, very well. This particular brand or style had a lot listed, none sold. So unfortunately, I ended up having to throw those back because, again, you want to look at comps. You want to look through sell-through rates. It's great that those sheets are listed on eBay for 90 bucks, but if no one's buying them, it don't matter. So I'm showing her what I find. First thing is UMG. UMG is a brand that we only pick up at the bins, but we only pick up in larger sizes. That was a small, so Frizz said no. American Eagle, she didn't like these shorts. She didn't like the styles. I'm pleading my case. She's saying that's not cool. Threw it back. And then I show her the Orvis shirt again. Wanted to get it, but just looking at comps, and it was just one of those items that was gonna sit around for a while. So unfortunately, again, pleading my case, but the boss said no. And then I'm going through, I'm still looking, and then I find this new with tag Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle robe. I throw it away, and of course Frizz said, you should have grabbed it. We are going to start off with the Johnny specials. I picked up a ton of hats, but I want to show you just a couple highlights. So if you are ever out at the thrift and you do see some hats and you don't know where to go or what to do, here's just a couple tips. One of the things that do very, very well are teams that no longer exist, right? So the Hartford Whalers, probably the greatest logo of all time. The Hartford Whalers on a snapback. I'm always picking up Hartford Whaler gear if I see it. You may not see it that often, but if you do. Also, talking about teams that don't exist anymore. This is a minor league hockey team that no longer exists. People love the defunct. This is a minor league baseball team on a new era. That's also a good brand to look out for. But again, a defunct team that no longer exists. Bulls can always be a winner. Brand is important, but this one needs a little cleaning up. But Mitchell and Ness, also a brand that I look out for. And then this is Bolo alert, guys. Not the fact that, one, this hat is supposed to be white, but isn't. And not that it's the Grateful Dead with the dancing bear, although that's pretty cool too. I picked this up to just take on a project, but we'll see. But this brand, Smathers and Branson, is a brand that you want to look out for. If this hat was clean, this is like a $40 hat. I know I have one other Smathers and Branson hat that's up for sale for like $36, but it's got kind of like that cross stitch or whatever you call it right there design. So Smathers and Branson, add it to your Bolo list. Now, I caught some heat in the last video for saying that I hated the Yankees. I stick by that. I hate the Yankees, but this is cool. Check this out, a bins find. This New York Yankee black jersey, but look at that old school Nike tag. Still hate them. Frizzy is currently downstairs baking for the holidays by choice. By choice. I didn't put her in the kitchen on purpose. She is there making some macarons for the holidays. But this channel is called Frizzy's Finds for a reason, and that's because the girl Frizz, she finds things. She came up to me at the bins and was like, John, check out these pillowcases. And I'm like, okay, cool, yeah, grandma core, right? Cottagecore, grandma core. She's like, oh, no. But these are, I'll see if I can find the tag real quick, vintage Ralph Lauren pillowcases. So she snagged these, the comps, we got 2 of them. The comps on these were pretty solid. They definitely have some weight to them, so we probably paid, I don't know, maybe $4 a piece, but comps look pretty good. Nice job, Frizz. Snagged this Kabu bag because it's like finding $20 just laying there. And if you're not following our girl Frizz on Whatnot, she found some awesome just like perfume giveaways that she's going to use in Whatnot for free giveaways. So be sure to follow us on Whatnot, check out Frizzy's shows, and be in there because one of these could be yours. Okay, let's do a rundown of this binge trip real quick. We went and spent $37.33. We got 18 pounds. I don't remember what the book is. And then we bought one kind of electronic toy that I'll show you a little bit later. But altogether, $37.33. If you ask Frizz one of her best bread and butter brands, Eileen Fisher. These linen pants at the bins. Yep. We picked up these Halara new with tag bikini bottoms. Another brand that we don't normally pick up, Ann Taylor. But new with tag blazer at the bins, we're gonna snag that. A lot of those brands, like the Chicos and the Loft and the Ann Taylor, things like that, brands that you don't normally pick up, if you can find very cheap in blazers, the blazers actually do very, very well. A brand that we pick up only at the bins also, Knox Rose, in the plus size, has a boho vibe, but new with tags again at the bins, gotta snag it. One other thing that we picked up that she's already loading in her store for her Whatnot show is a black Theory dress. The brand Theory is a great women's brand to pick up, so keep that on your list as well. Like I said, that's going in her Whatnot show that you'll have missed by the time you see this, but bookmark Frizzy shows on Whatnot. She has some of the best stuff at reseller prices, so you can get some of the best for your eBay store. When I was talking about what we had purchased, I said there was something electronic. Well, it's this guy right here, Mr. Wolf, the NC State mascot. He was just laying in a bin, no batteries, no life to him. We brought him home, we cleaned him up, and guys, check this out. Yes! Pretty cool. He was too cool to leave behind, but Mr. Wolf and I want to tell you to make sure to comment, like, subscribe. Frizzy and I, we're going to be in Indiana this week, hopefully finding some amazing things at the Goodwill bins in Indianapolis. Mr. Wolf might not be on the next video, but I will, and we'll see you guys then.